Hi everyone, thanks for joining me on this cookie social tutorial. These are some things that you need if you did not buy the kit. These are Ann Clark cookie cutters, the ice cream cookie cutters. I just bought these off Amazon, so you can do the same. Some of the things that I like to have when I'm decorating cookies is I put a paper towel down to catch any icing, and if you have the little ones, I always like to put this down for my girls. I like to have a scribe. If you don't have a scribe, you can use toothpicks. This helps smooth out your icing and also gets rid of any air bubbles or anything. You need some pair of scissors to cut open the piping bags. I like to have icing clips. They clip just onto the end of your bag so that your icing doesn't go everywhere. These are specifically made for that. If you do not have these, then I used to use just paper bags or paper clips. Not paper clips, but clips for bags. So, and you could just do that there. So then your icing isn't running out everywhere all over the counter and making a big old disaster. So you just, once you're done, you just clip that on there. So those are the supplies that you will need to get started. So let's go ahead and get the cookies and start decorating. So if you bought a cookie kit from me, then this is what it's going to look like when it comes to you. You're going to have 12 cookies. They'll be in a bag. These are the 4 different shapes. You're going to have icing, and you'll also have your 2 bags of sprinkles. So when you get your bag of icing, icing separates, so you can see that the icing has separated here. Just give the bags a good massage to incorporate those colors, and water is really what is separating. And massage it, try to get the color all incorporated, and but that's typical. So you'll see that. And then what I like to do after you massage it, because sometimes you can create air bubbles in the icing when you're moving it all around. So what I like to do is I like to, while the bag has not been opened, I like to give it just like a little whirl. And then that kind of causes the air to go up to the top so that your cookie can be nice and even without air bubbles. So once you're ready to open the bag or start decorating, you'll want to cut the bag, the tip off your bag, and so you want this line, you'll see a seam, you want that line to be pointed up, and then you just come down here to the bottom and you just take a little bit off of the tip. And again, start with a small amount to take off, and then you can always just go bigger, bigger, bigger. So sometimes I just start with this, and then I realize that wasn't quite enough, and so then you can just cut it more. So that is the start of it, and so give your bags a good massage, and then let's start decorating some cookies. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to decorating. We're going to decorate in different ways, and so you might think it's a little bit strange, but you need some things to dry and before you can go on to decorating. So we're going to start with this ice cream cone with the bumps on the side, and we're just going to start off, and what I like to do is go around and trace it, the part that I'm gonna be filling in, and I just want this little bottom ring part, and then I'm gonna fill that in. Now we're gonna kind of set it aside, and we want that part to dry a little. So I'll show you what we're going to be doing on that. So you got it all filled in. Then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to trace what I want, and then I'm gonna be filling this in with like chocolate. So, oops, forgot that part. You can either move the frosting around with the tip of your bag, or you can use your scribe. I like to typically do the top of my bag. So fill that part in. And what we're gonna do is we're going to put, let's put some cherry or strawberry, whatever one you want to use, or chocolate or whatever. We're gonna just drizzle this onto the top of our ice cream. So go ahead and start at that corner, go around and then fill it in. So as you see, I didn't outline this part because you can really just push your bag like in there, give it a squeeze, and then it fills it in for you. And then I think I want to add a little bit down here, just like that, maybe a little down on this side. So you can kind of use your bag to smooth it out a little bit. I like to try to make that, I kind of like how that looks, just a little bit popped out like that. Makes it look like it's running down. And then I am going to add some sprinkles to it. Right up at the top. I'm gonna use these ones. And then you can use your toothpick or your scribe to place the sprinkles better if you don't like how they were placed. Let's get a star in here. And then another ball. Again, you can use your scribe for all sorts of things that you need, but that looks good. So we're going to go ahead and set this aside, okay, because we need this part to dry a little bit before we can decorate this and this part. So let's go ahead and get started on the next cookie, and that's going to be the one with just the simple cone. So you're going to take your white, and we're going to do what we just did, where we have a little bit of it waiting to dry. So this is going to be a swirl cone. So go ahead and outline the areas that you're going to be filling in, and then you can fill them in. Okay, so I kind of extended this part down a little bit to help it look a little bit more swirled. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the cone part. So also when you're piping, it's good to have the seam up. Sometimes I don't, but most of the time I do. So again, I'm going to outline, and I'm just going to press a little harder at this part, and then going to fill it in. So with all of these different lines and stuff, you can, or with it being bumpy, you can use your scribe or your toothpick and just kind of try to smooth those lines out. So there you go. So now go ahead and set this one aside, and then we'll get started on the next one. So the next one we are going to do is the ice cream sundae. What we'll be using is the blue for that. So let's go ahead and get started. So you're just going to outline the glass part first. And then you're going to make just a little bit rounded up at the top, and then one in the middle. Just do your best. You can draw it on there if you'd like. So just do your best and then fill it in. Well, we have it all filled in, and you can see that it's not smooth. So you can take your scribe and smooth it out a bit. And then also, when it's chunky like this, you can give your cookie a little bit of a shake, like this. And that helps smooth out your icing as well. So while it's still wet, you're going to get your white, and you're going to add some shine to the glass. So there's no really right or wrong way to do this, but that's how I'm going to do it. Then I'm going to take my strawberry color, or bubblegum color really, and make the ice cream down here. Again, I'm going to be having some hot fudge dripping down, so making the top prepared for that. On this part, you're just going to go slow and a steady squeeze up against the blue, and that's what will work well. And then just fill it in. And you can give it a little bit of a tap, and that kind of smooths it out as well. So then I'm going to take my brown, and I'm gonna go right in here and have some dripping hot fudge. And you can do whatever looks best. Whatever you feel looks best is what works. So I'm also going to have like a little drip right here and a little drip right here. Maybe one on this side too, just to equal things out a little bit. And then I'm going to get my sprinkles and then just sprinkle it on the hot fudge area. and I like to specifically place some of the shapes in certain places. Let's get another star over here. And then you want all your sprinkles to be up on that hot chocolate part, because we're going to add whipped cream, which will be with your white. And you're going to go through and add your white like that. And then we're going to let this sit before we do the cherry on top. So you can move that to the side. So now we're going to move on to the other bar, and I did these previously, but they did not record. So that's why you see that they're different, because I just scraped them off. So we're going to start with pink, and we're going to go ahead and outline the cookie. And then after we outline it, we can go ahead and fill it in. Also, that's one thing great about cookies is that, say you mess up or you don't like your design, you can scrape it off and start over. Or if your camera doesn't record, you can scrape it off and do it again. So go ahead and fill this in. And then we will take the chocolate and we're going to just drizzle that across the top. So now with this one, I am farther away from the cookie to do the drizzle. And then we're going to take the ice cream sprinkles and place those in there. Again, I like to place the big ones place them, and then the small ones I just wherever they go, they go. So, and then we'll make the popsicle stick down here at the bottom. There you go. Cute little bar. So here is another design for that little bar that you can do. As you can see, I had to scrape this one off as well, but it's going to be brown. Go ahead and outline it, and then fill it in. You're going to use your blue and pink, and you're going to just make lines in it. And so you'll also want to make sure that you have a toothpick handy, because we're going to be using it for this. So after the pink lines, go ahead and do the blue line right above a pink line. And then we're going to do white above the blue. So the line doesn't need to be even, you just need to make sure you have a line. So now with your toothpick or your scribe, you're going to go up and then wipe your scribe off, and then down. Wipe your scribe off after every time, and then up And you need to make sure that your toothpick or scribe is in the cookie. You're not just skimming the top of the icing, you're actually like in the cookie. You're going down to the cookie. And then one last one over here. So now with these extra little parts, just scoot them back with your scribe. And then we'll go ahead and make our popsicle stick down here. Okay, and then that's it. Set this one to the side. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and go on back to the first cookie that we made, and we're going to make the cone. And then you're going to then fill in this second area. Now with this first area, this one I let sit for a little too long, but what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna kinda crunch it up. So I use the back of my scribe. You can use a fork, a spoon, a paintbrush, and whatever you want. But you're gonna wanna gently tap this part to kind of break that crust up, and you're gonna see that it makes it kind of look like ice cream. So this one sat a little too long because my recording didn't record how it should have, but on the next one I'll show you just really how it should look. But you're just kind of breaking that top crust. So I need to let this dry and crust over a little bit, and this dry and crust over. So we'll come back to those and I'll show you how to do it. So now we're going to get our swirl one, and we're going to do the chocolate part. So just outline and then fill in. Then you're going to get your ice cream cone color, and you are going to outline the cone. And then you're going to add some checkerboard design. Now, if that does not look cute, then I don't know what does. Who wants this ice cream? Ooh. All right, now we're gonna go back to the ice cream sundae. Right here. And we're going to outline the glass bottom, and then then we're going to just kind of put a little bit of, make this look a little whipped creamy. And then we're going to add our cherry on top. So for the cherry, I just like to push from the center and then push it around to where I want it to go instead of outlining. And then for the cherry, we're gonna add just a little glisten. I'm also going to outline the chocolate a little. I think it will look a little bit better. This is completely optional. If you feel like yours looked great without it, then by all means. Just think it needed a little bit more. Okay, so there you go. There's your ice cream sundae. So now we're going to finish up our first cookie that we did, but it's our last cookie. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just trace the cone here. And give it some checkerboard. And you really need to wait till this dries so that this icing doesn't sink into itself. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the back of the scribe, or you can use like a little fork, and we're going to just break this crust up to make it look more like ice cream. So there you go. You have your ice cream cone. That's your set.